Okay, so the first thing we got here, first example, Prism. Hopefully you're thinking right now, all right, well, that's area of the base times the height. I got to figure out what the base is. And then I go ahead and say, well, it's a prism, so it doesn't matter. So maybe I use that for the base because it's on the bottom. And then I jump right into the problem. And I look and I say, all right, inches, inches, inches. Everything's in inches. And I go ahead and I start the problem and I get all the way through. And then hopefully what happens is in that scenario, you get to the end and it says, you're like, oh, man, I got to round this or whatever. And you look and say it says nearest cubic foot. And then the problem is you didn't do it in cubic feet. You did it in inches. So you have cubic inches. And converting cubic inches to cubic feet is not something that we want to try to do. So what I have to do is look at this and say, all right, inches, 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 feet. All right, if the units of the answer needs to be in feet, that means everything needs to be in feet. So I'm going to have to go over here and do one, make sure I have the right units down, 1 foot to 12 inches. We'll do the 8 first because I can still see it. Put it in the right spot. So 8 inches, x feet. And I'm going to cross multiply and get 12x equals 8 divided by 12 divided by 12. And I'm honestly just going to leave it just like that. Sometimes it'll give me a repeating decimal. I'm just going to leave it as the fraction. So I've got to convert 22. So 1 over 12, x over 22. It's going to give me 12x equals 22. So there's my second one. And then my third one is just 12. So most of you are probably like, oh, that's 1 foot. That's fine. I'm just going to show it just because. So 12x equals 12 divided by 12 divided by 12. That one I'll put to 1. All right. So there's my new dimensions. And like I usually like to do, I'm going to go right to this thing and I'm going to put them on here. So BC, which is this, is 22 over 12. If you have the decimal, that's fine. Just use the whole decimal. CD is 8 over 12, and ED is 1. So those are all in feet, so I'm good there. Capital B, area of the base. The base is that yellow rectangle, so that's going to be 22 over 12 times 8 over 12. That's my capital B. Let me highlight that in green. So that's my capital B. And then my height is 1. So times 1, that's my height. Let's color code that guy. H, H, H. So I'm going to take the calculator. I'm going to type all that stuff in. So alpha y equals 22 over 12 times 8 over 12 times 1. Gives me 11 over 9. Okay, so now this says nearest cubic foot. So it's 11 over 9. That's not nearest cubic foot. That's a fraction. So I need to do that. Remember that these are divisions. Fractions are division. So it's going to be 11 divided by 9. 11 divided by 9 is 1.2 repeating. It says nearest cubic foot, so it's just going to be 1 cubic feet if it wants it to the nearest cubic foot. So again, check those units. Check the units it wants the answers in. Be careful. It's incredibly frustrating to do these things twice.